and no one's saying anything on TikTok. YouTube, though, they're doing great. Joseph was the first one here, so same with Mr. Manitoba. Y'all were great. I'm gonna find all of my mutuals that just swiped in and out of my live on TikTok. Hi, Cheryl. I'm gonna get you, Manda. I'm calling you out. I know people. Guys, I'm so weird. But happy Monday. If you guys didn't know, Donald Trump spoke in Michigan today. Oh, okay. It's like you knew, Manda. Also, your team membership is all grayed out. You should send that. Hi, Tori. I saw you come in, but you normally don't comment, so I don't expect that from you. Manda, though, I know you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Nah, we're live on everywhere that I'm normally open on for reuse question. Yeah, it's up. It just took a moment. Okay. Oh, no name. Thank you for renewing your membership over on the Tubes of You. I appreciate that. Happy birthday, Eve. Oh, yes. Don't go to a wall party. I probably won't be able to say it to you tomorrow. So happy birthday, Eve. There you go. Let's see. Hi, Chris. Okay. I do have a funny video. I don't mean that in a bad way, though, Tori, that you don't comment. There's nothing wrong with that. Because you can always... Anyway, Hello? You know what I mean? You're welcome. Why did that get filtered? That was so weird. Hi, everybody over on Twitch. Oh. It worked. Okay. I want y'all... Okay, so I'm going to play this video to start us off. And it's pretty funny. At least to me, it was great. Half y'all will see it, half y'all will not. So you'll just survive. Let me open it up. All right, and then I'll need to make sure sound is on. We're gonna go to that. All right, and now let's put this up on screen. Boom. Okay. Like I said, half y'all will see it, the other half of y'all are just gonna have to listen to it. But I thought it was pretty funny. For all of y'all that scream socialism and communism.
Citizens, rejoice! The state brings glorious news for the workers. The state seizes the means of production. Intel, U.S. Steel, taken for the glory of MAGA revolution. Our dear leader demands the state's rightful tribute. Companies may only buy or sell with his blessing. In his wisdom, the chairman alone picks winners and losers. He decides what the factory builds, where it stands, which worker keeps his job. No decision too small for our beloved chairman. And behold, the sons of the party. When these champions of the people grace a company's board, government contracts rain down. Drones, defense, mining, millions in shares. Such natural talent runs in the chairman's bloodline. And on every street, the loving embrace of state security. A free people has nothing to hide. Until you love constant surveillance, you don't love the state. Has there ever been a worker's paradise so great, so beautiful, so tremendous?
Whale. Wait, was there more?
Sound ridiculous?
Oh.
Of course it is. When all they have left to scream about is imaginary communism, remember, it's not an accusation. It's a confession.
I'll be honest, I forgot about the ending. So I cut it off early for no reason. That was funny. Yeah, I know you guys don't get it. So yeah, he literally called himself a communist. He said he would be the best communist. Right? He'd be like, "I'd be the best communist. Look at me and my hair, Donald J. Trump, and all that good jazz." Just to point out, this is it would be state socialism. And I agree, it's not communism because communism still involves. This doesn't involves capitalism still. So correct, it's state socialism is what it is when they are buying into companies like that. Wow, that's loud. I gotta turn that back down. I forgot about that. That's why I had that muted. Oh, I remember now. Oh, to. But yeah, they don't understand it. It takes a lot of reading into things. Yes, communism is also just a red herring, but I want to remind you guys that apparently the communists they want to blow up Mount Rushmore according to Trump. So that's an interesting take as well, but it's okay. It's okay. I was mocking sorry, I'm taking it out of context where Trump said with his whole mouth that I would be the best communist. He's literally Are you guys aware of what it means for when a government owns a part of a company? Not just patents, right? But literally a part of a company. We haven't done that before. Not in the way that we're doing it now, right? You guys are familiar with China, correct? Where they hold a share of all the majority of companies in China. The government itself holds a share of those companies. How about the fact that he gets to control who and where Nvidia can sell their chips to? Yeah. Yes, and also bought up Intel stock, technically. Nvidia, they just had a deal where they get part of the proceeds. The government gets part of the proceeds if they sell it to Chinese firms, but they also get a final say on whether they get sold or not to anyone in China. Who is Max? Innings? Why is someone talking about baseball in my comment section? That's weird. Yeah, so guys, if you are supporting Trump or you're still supporting the Republican Party, either way, call the number. All right? I don't do TikTok guests because TikTok guests do stupid shit. So call the number on the screen. Well, Patriot, then I advise you to back that up. If they're the only ones that are trying to make America great again, then call the number. And then I also want to tell you when America was great for everyone. I'll wait. It'll be great. Oh yeah, Salazar, because I've been doing this for as long as I have been, and not once anyone's ever complained about that. So most certainly that's what we're doing. I don't think you know what that word means. Yeah. I don't think you know what that word means. That's funny. No, I already told you, Salazar. I only talk to people on a phone number. Because TikTok guests do stupid shit. Like, you guys like showing your body parts on camera? Nah. You can literally go boop, 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 away. I don't know even know the last time that I had a TikTok guest up here. That wasn't a friendly's backup or main account while they were on my panel. Or on my channel. Y'all are weird. It's not my fault TikTok is broken, but Oh, I love it when people do this. I'm actually going to go ahead and put this up here. Oh, Amazon says this channel restricted free speech. Okay. I don't know what you were trying to say in the comments, Amazon, but I'm going to point this out to you. All right. The First Amendment has 5 keywords, hey, Nicolin, at the very beginning of it. All right. Congress shall make no law. Okay. I am not a member of the government, nor am I a member of Congress, because SCOTUS expanded that to mean all of the U.S. federal government and even state governments in 1925. So unless you're saying that somehow you voted me into power in government, you do not have, like, freedom of speech is not a given, and it is not a protected right. So I'm not the government, and this is a private platform. Cool. Oh, Salazar, you should look up what the victim of that crime said. If you want to pull that in my chat, in fact, I'm going to do you a favor. Okay. You're currently on a little timeout, Salazar, and you get to go look up what the victim of that crime said. Shushies, because I know you haven't looked up anything. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. What about you, ma'am?
Doing well. How old are you?
19. Sorry,
No.
18, my bad. 18.
Okay. And you're still supporting Trump or the Republicans?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. What has the Republican Party done for you?
Was it done for me? Well,
Yep.
can I talk about Trump's first term and then his second? Not this year, but when he was first elected. Can I do that? And then talk
I
about this
just
term
want to
as well?
know what the Republican Party has done for you.
Okay, first off, in 2017, he produced no wars. He got his oil shares.
How does that assist you? I'm asking about you specifically in your life. What has the Republican Party done for you? I didn't know that was actually a complicated question. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, now you're insulting me. Second off, I did tell you...
That's not an insult. How was that an insult to say I didn't know that was a complicated question?
Because you're calling me uneducated.
I did not call you uneducated. I just said I didn't know it was a complicated
how would you know
question.
if it was going to be a complicated question for me or not? Can you let me speak before you interrupt me, please?
Well, the fact that I had to repeat it 3 times and kind of goes on to say that you didn't understand the question, that's an observation. I don't think you know what an insult is. An insult would me being, which I can't see you, so I don't know how this wouldn't apply in any way. But an insult would be saying, "Wow, you're fucking ugly." That would be an insult. But I don't even know what you look like, so that doesn't even apply. That's an insult.
Online. That's why. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You live in Chicago, Illinois.
What? That would be funny. I guess so. That's all I want to know is like what. I'm not calling them anything. I just didn't know it was a complicated question because I had to repeat it 3 times. That would beg to say that it was a complicated question if I have to repeat it multiple times. Does that make sense? Oh, the funny part is Chelsea, he didn't even get that right. Like, at all. It was crazy. Nerds are awesome. Thank you, Nicholas. Yes, Chris, he left very quickly. I guess he got a little emotional, and that's okay. Well, I used to think that, Chris, and then sometimes they just really confuse me because they act like I say something crazy for some reason. That's a good point too, Blue Dreamweaver. But I want to show you guys this, right? So just a reminder, guys, if you support Trump or the Republican Party, you can call the number on the screen. We'll go over these Republicans that are in Congress right now being unable to say anything about Trump, all right?
far this term that you disagree with?
No,
Not the
no, the guy's doing great.
Greenland.
I
threatening to
suggest
invade
we
Greenland.
probably try to give him a third term.
Tariffs?
Actually, it'd be really should be a
third term
fourth.
shit.
Has the president done anything
So for you guys that can't see, that was Troy Nails, representative from Texas. Let me see who the next guy is.
tariffs?
Actually, really should be a fourth.
Has the president done anything so far this term that you just definitely disagree with?
No, I think he's done a great job.
That was Buddy Carter of Georgia.
I disagree with him on anything.
Ralph Norman says, no, I can't disagree with him on anything. Like, I can't disagree with him on anything.
I really can't.
As one of the most conservative
Andy Ogles.
members of Congress, I agree with the president 99.9% of the time.
I just can't think of
Roger Marshall.
anything off the top of my head, but I'm sure there is.
Obviously, I
John Hovey. I can't say his name.
support his overall agenda, but they're individual things. But I'm not going to sit and enumerate it.
Not even the,
The
few.
Pope?
The
The Pope, I
Oh,
think, learned his
back to
lesson. The Pope
Nails.
needs to keep his nose in the religion, right, and tend to his flock.
So far this term, has President Trump done anything you disagree with?
We're not going to speculate on that.
That was Keith Self, right? The Republicans literally, they just can't, right? They cannot bring themselves to say anything bad about the Trump or his administration. Like, these are the people that you're voting in and are so actively supporting, is that they are capitulating to hell and back for Trump, right?
No comment.
Has the president done anything so far this term
This
that you
guy's running
disagree with?
away.
Great to see you guys. I'm gonna go vote a little late.
Nothing?
There are things that I have.
For those who know, like, Greg Murphy, this is who's going to be speaking now, all right, is Greg Murphy. After Mike finishes running off back screen. He's from North Carolina. Yeah, I have opinions about Gregory Murphy.
Nothing?
There are things that I have some disagreement. I mean, good Lord, nobody's going to agree 100%.
What disagreements have you had this term so far?
Oh, there have been a few things about, when we have some maybe pricing issues or possibly some trade issues one way or the other. Nothing I think that I would raise a kerfluffle about.
Kerfluffle. Yeah, pricing issues. Exactly. I caught that too. You'll be brought up next. It's just say words. Like, just be honest about what you don't like. It's not hard. I truly don't understand.
We don't agree with everything he says or tweets. We agree on his goals and his purpose and his policies are working.
That was Roger Marshall.
A Republican, I like to focus on the areas of agreement.
The big
That was the North Dakota rep again. I can't remember I can't say his last name. Hovind? I don't know.
thing that I disagree with, he pardoned Rod Blagojevich.
if Boots
The only person that actually had an issue with anything, right? And crap, I'm already past his name. Next one is Derek Van Orden.
Go on the ground in Iran, I disagree with that.
You
Specifically just boots on the ground.
mentioned boots on the ground as a limitation. Do you want an AUMF to outline what they can and can't do and what their authorities are?
Listen, I trust President Trump. I trust Secretary Hegseth.
So far this term,
But won't limit him on anything, right? Just like, oh yeah, but we won't actually do anything to make sure he can't put boots on the ground. Oh, we should stop that? Nah, not gonna happen. Oh, I was just about to get to you. Lame. We'll put that back on screen then. This is going to be the good one. It's going to be Lauren Boebert. So we'll, people have like zero patience.
is there anything the president has done that you just disagree with?
I don't think so.
Lauren Boebert says, I don't think so.
No? Not small things or anything on tariffs?
Maybe just vetoing my bill, but don't worry, I'm still fighting.
No, he hasn't. He's been overcoming organizations like MS Now, finding something wrong with everything he does.
And that was Daryl Issa. Yeah, I'm sorry, Amanda. They're all a little sucky, but Lauren Boebert, a woman, has zero issues with Donald Trump. That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, they are so afraid to speak back to Donald Trump. It's insane. They're just like, okay, let me just, bend over and just, it's all good. What is happening in my Twitch chat? Hi, Twitch guys, I see you. All right. All right, cool. If you guys are supporting Donald Trump or the Republican Party, I don't care which. I just went through a whole montage of Republicans in Congress that are not doing anything about Donald Trump. Call the number on the screen, 915-974-3274. Literally, it ends in RE. It's my name. It's not hard. And yes, the account on TikTok is my backup account. So there's all of those good things. Oh, there's 6 income. Mark, you wouldn't know anything about what you're saying. The vinyl? Yeah. Okay. But so, little known fact, okay, and a lot of people missed it this weekend. It's not very well talked about while we're waiting for the Republicans to grow a pair, which... Thank you, Robert, for the 3 over on the Green app. I did just get it. Let me scroll down and up there. Update that. So that brings us to 307. Oh, yeah. So for those who don't know, the reason why I have this goal up on the screen is because my cat's had a lot of medical issues and it's been expensive. So that's why that's up there. If you are able to contribute, that is great. My daily goal, because this is my part-time job, is to get $150 a day. And that's because this is a job and women's labor specifically should not be free. Yeah. Yes, I know you don't understand that, user. I understand user 123. This is a job. I'm educating people. Yeah. I know it's a hard concept to understand. But thank you, Feisty, for the gifted membership. Looks like that went to Carl. Carl, I hope you said thank you. Also, if you guys are in the landscape version of the live over on YouTube and you're there towards the end, you'll get a gifted membership, maybe. If you're there, but you got to be in there to receive the gifted membership at the end. I'm sure you do, Doomsday, and you haven't made a single cent anywhere. Uh-huh. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, user, I would love to see you call the number and then tell me what lie I told and be specific. Oh, wait, you won't be able to do that. Okay, so over the weekend, Ukraine, I know they've kind of fallen off the map for a lot of people. Ukraine, all right, struck a vessel in the Caspian Sea. Doomsday, you're not comprehending what I'm saying at all. Yeah, you're not doing great. Oh, guys, sorry, Doomsday is really upset about me explaining what this daily fund is, how it's for education, and that labor shouldn't be free, because I do a lot of research on what I do. Like, I have a whole outline. Like, here, I'll even show you guys. It doesn't bother me any. So I prepare a whole thing to go over in case people don't feel like calling. Granted, I rarely get to it, right? Because I typically get a lot of men that just want to scream at me on the internet. But yeah, I go through and I prepare an entire outline to go over things, right? And educate people on recent news. So what I'm saying is I'm doing this, and so labor shouldn't be free, okay? And so they think that it's not a cool thing or anything. So if you guys can help out with anything directly to Mermaid RE0 on Cash App or Venmo, or you can send super chats, send the big gifts over on TikTok. That would be so cool, because they're just crying in the chat. And yes, I do pay taxes. Like, that's why it can be, yeah, it brings in income. It's taxable. I know that's hard for you to understand. Yeah, probably. That's probably it, Sparky. Wow, y'all are super mad. They're super mad in my chat. It's really funny. Ooh, which, if you guys want to participate, like Robert did earlier, I also want to remind you guys of this. Ready?
Do you want someone muted in the chat? Is there someone spamming making disingenuous arguments, displaying bot behavior, or maybe they're just fucking annoying. You can have them muted for as little as $5 a day, $20 for the week, or $50 for the entire month. Additionally, if there's a guest you would like to drop for up to 10 minutes, we offer this for only $50. And if there's somebody you would like to have banned permanently, you can have this done for only $80. Pay links in the bio.
Yeah, so if there's anyone that y'all are getting annoyed with, feel free. We do have one person on TikTok that if they show up, they've got, 4 more days of just being muted because they've been crybabying in the chat. So if you guys want to help participate in that, I'm literally Mermaid RE0 on all socials and all of the pay links. So it's really easy. Yep, exactly. On all of the links. Thank you, Feisty. So it's not that difficult. All right. So we can, it's baby back, bitch, call back. That's funny. The PAB called back. So I'll get back to this real quick. Ukraine struck a vessel in the Caspian Sea. I know you guys are probably like, oh, where's the Caspian Sea? Because you don't know where it's at. So it's actually a tiny little sea, right? That sits just north, right? It's touching Iran, okay? And it's touching Iran. It's the north of Iran. And it flows up to, or technically down from, Russia. And then you have Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan on the other side. So all of these things, right? It's a small little area, okay? And it's a direct route for Iran to send their military equipment purchased by Russia to them. So Caspian, right? The Caspian Sea, there was a vessel that was struck by Ukraine. Oh, there we go. Moose just got it. Neely paid to mute someone that couldn't even give themselves a username. Actually, technically they did. They literally chose to name themselves user12345. Mexico? Does that do it for you, Tom? Mexico? Yeah? Okay, cool. Anyways. So, Iran is saying that it was an Iranian vessel and that someone died on it, right? And I'm not denying that it probably was an Iranian vessel. The thing is, it was struck because it was carrying military equipment from Iran to Russia. And they've been conducting satellite surveillance in the area. They've been conducting long-range strikes over to the Caspian Sea for a while. And so now Iran is calling for them to be in trouble for war crimes. And I'm not saying maybe it is a war crime. I'm not defending them. I'm just saying it makes sense. They don't want Russia to continue to get the Shahed drones that have been killing all of their people. You know what I mean? I think that's the biggest thing for it. So that's how that goes. I know you guys are all scared in the chat. So that was just a little known thing for what happened. Sorry, someone's cooking. It's cool. Someone really doesn't know what stolen valor is in the chat over there. Y'all are so dumb. But we'll go ahead and go through here. Does it offend you that I don't say, why does it always offend somebody that I go, or I do a, like a breath of a roll? That would be nice, Sparky. He won't, though. I'm sorry. It's just the two of us. Just the two of us. Hi, how are you?
Hey, how's it going?
Going well. How old are you?
Niggers.
You're dumb. Yeah, so to answer Fierce Shops question, the image that's on the screen that's of a cat, that's my actual cat named Safari. And that's what the vet fund or who the vet fund is for, because she blew a blood vessel in her eye 2 months ago, and we've been trying to diagnose the root cause of the problem, and it's been very expensive. Oh, thanks, Blue Dream. Also, she's 12 years old. Yeah, Fierce. It's you can do it by sending a gift on TikTok, or you can it's Mermaid RE0. She's a sweetie. I love my cat. Trust me. I like her. She's so fluffy. But yeah, that's a real picture of my cat on the screen. My cat was sitting on the shelf. That'd be so funny, Mandy. Oh, she gets a weight loss control food. It was recommended by the vet. Or a diet, a weight control food. Okay. But while we wait, oh wait, hold on. That's funny. Hi, how are you?
Fine, yourself?
Doing well. How old are you for terms of service?
39.
39. Are you still supporting Trump?
I support the Republican Party and conservatives.
Cool. What's the Republican Party done for you?
I want to know why you support the Democrats and support them so much.
I never said I did. So what has the Republican Party done for you?
Well, you do a bashing constantly of the conservatives and the Republicans, so obviously you have a stronghold for the Democrats. What have they done for you?
I haven't said anything about the Democrats, but sure. The ACA specifically made it possible that despite my pre-existing condition, my disability, that I'm able to get health insurance no matter what, even on a free open market. So there you go. That's one thing that's fantastic, considering that every single Republican voted no, even though they used parts of Republican legislation in the ACA.
So you support a racist party.
Anyway, so what has the Republican Party done for you?
So again, you support a
I know
racist
it's
party.
really hard. See, do you see how I answered your question? I wonder why you're unable to answer mine.
Here we go.
No, I'm just curious. Why are you unable to answer mine?
Your part-time job is not doing research. Your part-time job is rage baiting people to get clickbait.
No, I got this. It's fine. All right. So what was the ideology way back in, we'll just, the slavery, right? So we'll go back to the 1860s. What was the ideology of the Democrats and the Republican Party? Can you tell me which one was the Conservative Party and which one was the Progressive Party? I'll wait.
It was the Democratic Party that wanted to endorse slavery.
No.
Even into the
Johnny boy. Let's try this again, okay? So there was an ideology that each party had, the Democrats and the Republicans, back in the 1860s. So what I want you to do, John, is tell me which party was the Republican Party, which party was the Conservative Party, and which one was the Progressive Party? John, which one was the Conservative Party back in the 1860s? Why don't we fast
forward to where Joe Biden
back in the 1860s? Sorry, sir. Every time you pivot away from my question, you're not going to be able to speak. Back in the 1860s.
Again.
Nope. Back in the 1860s, who was the Conservative Party?
You are. I really hope you.
Okay, I don't know what you're going to say because I'm not listening to you when you're just screaming into the void, John. Okay, so we're going to try this again. 1, 2, 3, eyes on me. Use your 2 ears. God gave you 1 mouth. Try shutting it up for once in your life, okay? So, John, Pookie Pie. Which party in the 1860s was the Conservative Party?
Like every other liberal.
Okay. I know, John, I know it's very hard to listen. I understand it's very hard to listen, John, okay? I know it's extremely hard to listen. Which party in the 1860s was the conservative ideology? Oh, you ran away? Yeah, that makes sense. I know it's really hard to answer questions that push back on what you want to believe. I just want to point this out, right? I want to point this out to everybody. I had almost zero problems, right? I gave him pushback at first, and then I was like, hey, fine, I'll answer your question, okay? I will answer your question. Cool. And I answered his question. What has the Democratic Party specifically done for me? I answer that, right? So then I want to go ahead and ask my question back. What did the Republican Party what have they done for you? Oh, wait, that's a question you don't want to answer because you don't have an answer for it. Congrats. And Ryu is correct in pointing this out. It was the Democratic Party that had the conservative ideology in the 1860s. And what are they now? The progressives. Do you guys see how that works out? So when somebody calls in and tells me that they're a conservative, why do you support the racist movement? Because he specifically said he was a conservative. So, lock in, John. It's okay. It's like they switched. Yeah, it's like they switched right on over. I know, it's so crazy, Chris. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How's it going?
Going well. How old are you for TikTok terms of service?
44.
44. And are you still supporting Trump or the Republican Party?
Trump, yes.
Trump, yes. Okay. What's he done so far to earn your continued support in this term?
Oh, well, I think he's playing chess, and I like what he's doing in Iran. I don't necessarily care so much about the way he was supporting Israel. Seemed like
Well,
they were
that's the
being a
only
little
reason
reckless
why
with
we're
it.
in Iran right now is because of Israel.
If you say so, but I don't think that's the
Marco
only
Rubio said
reason.
it. Do you know who Marco Rubio is?
Of course, I know who Marco Rubio is,
Okay.
but
Well, he's the one who
the
said
only
that
reason, it's not the only reason. Also,
Iran was going to attack, so he basically pulled a we had to get them sorry guys. We had to get them before we got moment.
yeah, because we have to take a different approach since 9/11. Remember when everything was running down the hills, Little House on the Prairie, and then we got attacked. So we can't just act like
Why are
there's
you
nothing
bringing up
going on.
9/11?
Because as a result of 9/11, we have to be on the offensive. We can't be on the defensive. We were being nice and giving everybody what they wanted, and then we got attacked.
No, that
We were
violates
acting
our
like
own laws. Are you not familiar of the War Powers Act and what it actually entails and what's required by the United States government? What was the here? I'll
violates our own.
Don, 1 second. I'll go ahead and tell you
Okay.
this. It requires an imminent threat. What was the imminent threat that Iran presented in 2026?
Well, I mean, they've been positioning themselves aside from raising a whole generation of children to kill Americans.
What was the imminent threat that Iran presented in 2026?
Being the backers of Hezbollah.
Don, what is the imminent threat that Iran presented in 2026?
Well, now they pose a minimal threat.
Nope, what does imminent mean, Don?
Imminent means most certainly to occur.
Close in, just right around the corner for danger, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what was the imminent threat that they presented before February 28th, 2026? What is the imminent threat that they presented that was so pressing that we couldn't wait in 2026 prior to February 28th when we started a war?
Okay, so if we would like to talk about
what is the
nuclear
imminent
deal,
threat?
right?
No. No, what is the imminent threat?
Can I answer, or are you gonna know me? Because I'm not gonna yell and I'm not gonna cuss like these other guys are. I want to actually talk about it.
Okay, so
So I'm not
what
trying to
is the
rage
imminent
bait
threat?
you, and I don't. The imminent threat, it stems off of a bunch of different things. But if I could talk without being interrupted, then
If
maybe we
you,
might be able to make some sense. Because I'm willing to learn from you. I didn't say I'm conservative. I support Trump and what he's doing because everything became so soft. In America, we're so protected and everything's so soft. We need to care and worry and protect it. We need to protect each other within our own, but we can't defend ourselves to outsiders. It's just like, as a family, we love each other, but anybody outside of our house, their competition, they might hurt us. We need to be wary. We can't just stand around and act like everything's simple and great. It's not. It's complicated and treacherous.
cool.
So
Maybe I
living
need to
in the
try it
world,
this way because you're not meeting the muster
well,
for what is required for imminent threats, especially
you're
according
not
to
gonna
United
convert
States
me. I'm
law
not gonna.
and the
You're not gonna
international
convert
law.
me. I'm not gonna
How
convert you.
many? I'm going to try asking you a completely different question, still related to Iran. How
Okay.
many United States citizens have been killed on U.S. soil by Iran?
How many U.S. citizens have been killed on U.S. soil by Iran? Do you have a number?
I do. What is it?
I don't have a number.
0.
Round of applause. I'm talking about we have to
Preemptive
protect. See,
self-defense must
for
be
one,
instant, overwhelming, and leaving no choice of means and no moment for deliberation. We were actively in deliberations with Iran the entire time leading up to February 28th. We have been in deliberations with Iran since Donald Trump pulled us out of the JCPOA on May 8th, 2018.
Yes.
We have been in deliberations for them, with them, which means that deliberation was an option the entire time. Okay? So meaning that it does not pass the muster of the Caroline test, which is required to be passed in order for it to qualify as an imminent threat.
So if this is so illegal, like you say, then how come it hasn't been stopped?
Because Republicans in Congress are spineless.
So no. Let's be practical here.
No,
It's
I'm
lazy
being honest. They
whenever
are
it
being
comes down.
spineless. The only people that
Can I
can
finish?
stop them are
Can I finish?
going to be
Can I finish? I
Congress.
think it's lazy to just call names, just like that last caller.
What name did I
I mean,
call?
being spineless. You're
The
it's a cop out.
Republicans
You're
in
not giving me an
Congress are
actual
being
reason.
spineless.
You're not giving me an actual reason. That's lazy.
Cool.
So
Sure,
if
I'll go
you're trying
through
to
this for you. Thomas Massey, the Republican in Congress and the House of Representatives, introduced multiple War Powers
going
Act
down another
resolutions. I'm
can I
literally
chime
explaining
in?
this to you, Don. Please be patient.
I don't need it to be explained.
Thomas Massey has introduced multiple War Powers Act resolutions to roll back the power of the United States presidents to engage in this war in Iran without congressional approval multiple times. It actually currently passed Congress at a slim margin. I believe it was 214 to 208, where Republicans actually crossed the aisle. Only 4 crossed the aisle with Democrats, and then some members were absent. It is
can I get a
literally
word in?
Congress's job to check the president of the United States when they do something wrong, because unfortunately nobody can just sue the president of the United States for his actions in Iran right now, for it to make it up to the Supreme Court, for them to
Because they're not in
uphold,
power,
for
so
them.
it's a game.
Don, stop.
It's a
I'm
game. It's
explaining
part
how
of the
this
game.
works.
They have
You,
the advantage.
Don,
They have the advantage.
Don, you asked me, why hasn't it ended? I'm explaining to you the logistics of how come the conflicts, the skirmish, as Donald Trump regales it down to, hasn't ended yet. There are literally steps, okay, Don? So here we go. Congress
Can we get back
has
to the
to,
first point that
Congress,
you asked me?
nope, you can stay patiently. Congress is the one that has to put him in check because no one in the United States has a standing backing to stand on to sue the United States government for the actions in Iran unless a family member wants to do a wrongful death suit against the government for illegally violating it. I don't even know if they would be heard, but it would be up to, right? It would be up to Congress to do it unless somehow a suit can make it all the way up to the Supreme Court of the United States to recertify the fact that he's violating Article 1 of the United States Constitution. I believe it is Section 8, Clause 13, where it says that Congress has the power to declare war, and they're the ones that get to do it. There is no AUMF that allows him to just do this action. There is nothing within Congress that gives him laissez-faire, carte blanche to just carry out these acts on Iran. Okay? Do you understand that, Don?
Because the advantage is his.
The advantage is not his. He is violating U.S. Constitution.
He's doing what he wants. Okay?
And that's not a good thing. Why are you okay with an unchecked? Why are you okay with the unchecked powers of a president?
Well, I'm okay with having a conversation with you, and you keep interrupting me. So why would I be okay with that?
I asked you a question that you didn't even give me the room to answer.
You asked me a question and you didn't let me answer. You were saying
because you asked me a question about why is it still going on if it's illegal. Don, you asked me a question about why is the Iran war going on if it is illegal, and so I wanted to explain to you how it works.
You asked me what was the imminent threat, and then you started rambling. Can I finish?
Because you never answered it, Don. You never told me what the imminent threat was. You just asked me if it's illegal, is it still going on? Yes, we did, Law.
Can hear that I'm trying to answer.
You're not trying to answer anything right now. Can you try to what is the imminent threat? I've laid out to you what an imminent threat is. I've given you what the Caroline test requires. So what is the imminent threat? Don, let me finish my question. Don.
You're protected.
1, 2, 3, eyes on me. Dude, you would never get drafted. 1, 2, 3, eyes on me, Don. What is the imminent threat prior to February 28, 2026 that Iran presented?
Can I answer?
If you're actually going to answer it directly.
Are you my kindergarten teacher? How are you? This is why people don't take this kind of stuff serious, because silly characters like you turn it into a joke. You wouldn't understand the dynamic.
So what's the imminent threat?
Argument or a fight.
What's the imminent threat?
Woman. So in the world of men,
what is the imminent threat?
The world amongst men, if you say something, you better do it. We don't just get to ramble like women and put on fake eyeliners, fake lipstick, fake eyelashes.
Oh, Pookie, are you mad because I don't wear any makeup at all? Right? Nothing. Yeah.
Try to talk about what's real.
Literally nothing. I know the copium is so hard on this one. God. Anyway, so what's the imminent threat?
What's copium?
What's your imminent threat that Iran presented prior to February 28, 2026?
I think that if you had somebody who had an opposing view and who's not afraid or emotional that wants to yell and cuss at you, you'd have a better show.
What's the imminent threat that Iran presented before February 28, 2026?
Or you're just able to rant and ramble, and the people around you are just saying, yeah, yeah. And you think just because your people around you are letting
So, from what I'm understanding, Don, you are refusing to engage further in this conversation. Am I understanding that correctly, Don?
Okay. Well, listen, I didn't cuss.
I choose not to. I also, did I cuss? Yeah. Could he name the 3 branches of government? Probably not, Rika. Like, gosh, oh my gosh, you're a woman. Ah! Women wear makeup. I'm good. I did. Gosh, they're doing so great. Yeah, there was no way he could answer. They never can. Don, Does he understand defensive and offensive? Probably not, Moose. Hey, Law. It's nice to see you. Yeah. You always get a weird bat signal, I swear. Okay. Hi, how are you? You waited 20 minutes to do that? Incel behavior. Hi, how are you?
Did you get me? Hello?
Hi, how are you?
Can you hear me? I'm doing good.
Awesome. How old are you for terms of service?
34.
Okay. And are you still supporting Donald Trump or the Republicans?
Yes, I am.
Cool. Why are you still supporting Trump? What's he done to earn your continued support?
Well, I do believe that he has done a fantastic job for this country, and that he is also a very smart man in terms of trying to get our finances back where they need to be, and is trying his hardest to try to get everything back in order. And whenever we had Biden in office, he just sat there and just got everything.
You know, right now the United States government is spending $39 billion a week. It doesn't really sound like we have our finances in order.
Well, we were a lot worse off whenever we had Biden in office.
Okay. So I would like you to try to re-explain this. So you said a lot of try. Donald Trump's tried to do this. He's trying to do this and trying to do that. What has he achieved that's earned your continued support?
Well, he is working on getting this world turned around. And
so hasn't done it, so not an achievement.
Well, if you just give me a moment, he is trying to fight against this world on terrorism.
Working on it, not an achievement.
That is correct. He has not achieved it yet. But, fighting against terrorism is not an easy thing to do. He is, a good Christian man. And
it's Christian-like to cheat on all three of your spouses and to sexually assault women. Wow, I'm going to have to reread my Bible and figure out where that's okayed by God and Christian ideology to sexually assault women and commit adultery on my first wife with my second wife with my third wife, and my third wife with a porn star.
Just because he has made bad decisions in his past,
he doesn't believe in repentance. He doesn't believe that he needs to ask God for forgiveness. So he doesn't even believe in what you're about to try to say. God will forgive him. Yeah, sure. If he asks, he literally has said multiple times, I don't need to ask God for forgiveness.
Because he already believes that God has already forgiven him.
That's not how that works at all. You have to ask for forgiveness.
Because God forgave him whenever he asked.
He's never asked. He literally has said he's never asked for forgiveness. God cannot be given the grace to forgive him if he's never asked.
But I'm not here to preach to you.
Yeah, because you're not following your Bible very well.
I can sit here and tell you all the things that are in the Bible because my grandpa is a pastor.
Yeah, so Donald Trump's never said the Lord's Prayer when he says that he's never asked for forgiveness, doesn't need forgiveness, and literally says, I believe I'm going to hell.
because he's not going to sit there and say all those things.
So he's not a good
Right
Christian man.
there
Got it. Thank you. Moving on. So
on
what's
the
he done so
TV.
far to earn your continued support? Because I'm hearing a
Yeah.
lot of not achievements and a lot of trying,
But,
and quite a bit of
you
blasphemy
know,
going on, actually.
but he has declared war against communism. And like you were talking about earlier, what is the imminent threat?
What is communism?
Communism is the imminent threat.
What is define communism?
It has one leader, and that one leader
No, that's a
is in charge
dictatorship.
of everything.
No, having a leader, that would be one leader would be an authoritarian dictatorship. That's not communism. You can give like the basic definition of communism, like the baseline ideology behind communism. Can you do that?
Well, you basically just have one leader.
No, that's an authoritarian
One,
dictatorship. It's not communism.
you know, it's a family.
It's no, that if it's a family, that's a monarchy. That's not communism.
With a ideology.
It is an ideology. Yes, I'm asking you to define the ideology.
Like Iran believes
They're a
in
theocracy. So what is communism? This is, if you don't know, please
it's
just say
like
I don't know.
North Korea.
Nope, North Korea is also not communist. They are under a authoritarian dictator of state socialist. You could say that. You could say it's state socialism. That's as far as you can go with North Korea. But it's has
Okay,
an authoritarian
then
dictator.
how about
But it's
China?
not communism. China is
China
also
is
not communist. Nope. They engage in the capitalist market and the capitalist system. They are also something that you can say would be an authoritarian government that is state socialism. Still not communism.
Russia?
Still not communism. They actually moved away from most of their socialist programs as well. You can't even call them a state socialist government either. Right now, it's literally what would you call? I wonder about this one. What would you call a sham of a government that runs fake elections to make sure that
I
Putin
wouldn't
stays in
even say
power?
that they run state elections.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, that's actually they are. Russia is an oligarchy,
Because for
a
one,
kleptocracy.
the
Thank you,
whole
guys.
state of Russia
Is a
is
oligarch
trying to
kleptocracy.
recreate Ukraine, and they keep on attacking Ukraine.
No, I still need you to define communism. If you don't know, please just say I don't know.
I mean, communism is kind of a older thing, but
Do
I guess
you
I would
know
say
what do you know what communism is? Yes or no?
I would have to ask you to forgive me. I do have a seizure disability, and
Oh.
sometimes I kind of forget things
That's
whenever
fair.
I go to talk about them, and they just kind of disappear out of my mind whenever I go to talk about them,
Okay.
and they just
That's fine. That's why I was just saying if you don't know, you just say I don't know, and I would happily have told you. So communism, or if you said you didn't remember, that also is acceptable. So communism is, and I'm just going to give the easiest explanation of what it is. This is the baseline. It is a stateless, so no government, moneyless, so no capitalism, classless, so no division between rich and poor, white versus black, things like that. So stateless, moneyless, classless society.
I mean, there's been plenty of communist places in
Where?
the past. I mean,
Name one. Wait, you said in the past, so there's none now, correct? Yeah, community, commune, communism.
Germany most definitely was communist at one time.
It was not. It had a government, which means it had a state. It had money. It participated in the capitalist society, so it had money. And there was definitely a division of the classes, so you are already incorrect. And the Nazi Party called themselves the Workers' Party.
But they sure didn't like the Jews.
Yeah, I agree. They were very fucked up. Yeah. Just remember, everybody, in Nazi Germany, they went after the communist socialists first. Exactly.
And
so we've established that Donald Trump isn't fighting a war on communism because there is no communist state anywhere within the entirety of the world. So you can't, unless, are you saying he's fighting a boogeyman?
I do apologize that I said communism. I meant socialism. And
who is he fighting back that's socialist?
And the one that starts with a D.
The one that starts with the D?
Mentioned. My mind just went blank again. I do apologize. That you said that North Korea was
state-run socialism or a dictatorship?
Dictatorship.
Oh, what's he doing about North Korea? They just tested their nuclear weapon launch system last weekend.
Yeah, we're trying to work on making sure that nuclears are not all around the world.
That's what the NPT was for.
Because we don't want nuclear bombs to be everywhere.
Then
Because
why did
if
we
there are
just
nuclear bombs everywhere,
why did Donald Trump just allow Saudi Arabia to enrich uranium?
because it can be used for other purposes.
Oh,
It
okay.
can
So there's
be
other
used-
uses for enriched uranium other than just a nuke. Okay, got it. Right.
Yes, it can be used for cancer.
So what is he specifically doing to stop North Korea with their already established nuclear weapon stockpile?
But if they choose to sell it to other people for other purposes, that is their decision. But whenever we buy it for our purposes, it would be used for medical purposes. And also to upgrade, like, computers and stuff like that. Because uranium is much lighter and data flows faster and quicker through it.
Uranium.
Yes, sorry. I do happen to have an high IQ, and
No, I was just confirming that's what you meant.
yes,
Okay.
and I'm really intelligent. But even though I do have a seizure disorder, which most people with seizure disorders do happen to have higher intelligence. It's just that most people don't notice. Because of the fact that they have brain problems. But luckily, I started having seizures later in life.
It's unfortunate that you ever had a seizure at all, to be honest. But Joe, respectfully, I'm going to move on because I'm not sure where this conversation is going. You've been very polite and I appreciate that. And I hope you have a good evening, okay?
Well, hopefully Trump is able to get our gas prices back down. And luckily, food prices have gone.
That was just a buy. That just needed a buy. All right, guys, real quick. Friendly reminder, guys, labor isn't free. So I appreciate you guys for the super chats. I appreciate the 10 gifted memberships that I saw overall. Let me see who they were because it's not showing up the way it's supposed to. Boards of Ceres, thank you for the gifted membership. Thank you, Fraternal Girl, or Fraternal G, thank you for the membership as well. And Elliot, thank you for also becoming a member as well. But guys, just a friendly reminder, we haven't seen anything directly to the pay links. If you guys can help me out, the pay links are going directly to taking care of my vet costs. So if you guys are able to help out with that, it's Mermaid RE0 on Cash App or Venmo. You can also help with sending gifts and stuff. And I appreciate you guys. Okay. Hi, how are you?
Is this for me?
Is there someone else?
Oh, I guess it is for me.
Yeah, it would be for you.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Perfect.
Awesome. How old are you for TikTok terms of service? Thank you, Sparky.
26.
26. And are you still supporting Trump?
I don't really support Trump, so I support the Republican Party to an extent.
Okay. What has the Republican Party done for you?
What has it done for me?
Yep.
It's a great question. I would say for the most part, the main reason I do support them is just because, my ideas closely align with theirs in some aspects. But the number one thing I was looking for is obviously the economy to get better. That hasn't been the case. That's truly unfortunate. We might be cooked there forever. I'll be honest with you. Immigration's a big thing. So border crossings are down. I guess you can take a win on that. But
Where do we keep
so
track of
far this term,
crossings?
you said what?
Where do we keep track of crossings?
Who keeps track of crossings, or how do we keep track of crossings?
Where?
Where do we keep track of them?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to elaborate on the question. Do you mean like the facility they retain the data, or how they're getting the numbers?
No, like, is it on DHS, ICE, CBP.gov?
Oh, the information?
Yeah.
I just assume you could look up Department of Homeland Security, DHS.
Interesting. Unfortunately, I have, and I
Yeah.
can't ever find it.
Really? See,
Yep.
I didn't look it up on there. I did chat GPT it. So
And what you found is a
take that
press
with a grain of
release
salt.
where they're saying that crossings are down, but it doesn't
did say
link
that,
back
yeah.
to any data that shows crossings in Biden's term versus crossings in Trump's term.
Well, Biden didn't do. I mean, he wasn't awful at getting people out. None of them are good. It's just that for the most part,
Biden
Republicans
had
said they
2.8
would.
million deportations in his 4 years, I believe is the correct amount. I know
How
Obama
many?
was 3.4 million in his first term.
Yeah, Obama had a lot of deportations. Biden, how many did you say Biden had?
I believe it was 2.8.
2.8. Do we have
Mhm.
numbers on how many came in during that same time frame?
The only estimate they have are what they call gotaways, but they don't truly know
Yeah.
if those people left or if they were caught when they're just gotaways. It's just
Yeah.
a guess that they give, and that was 3.3.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, nobody's doing a really good job on it, which is sad because it's probably the most important thing that needs to get done. And I know there's a lot of people coming over here illegally just from my day to day. Of course, I have like a very demanding job. I do a lot of travel. It's honestly insane the amount of like illegal people I've met on a daily basis.
You're asking
It's kind of
people
hard to
for their
believe.
status?
Do I ask them for their status? I
Yeah.
have. Yeah.
Why?
Not in like a demeaning kind of way, just curious. It usually comes up in conversation. Obviously, you can see whether someone is like American. I'm not talking about the way they look. I'm talking about the way they talk, the culture. So you just spark up
No,
conversation just
no,
because
no.
you're curious. Yeah.
See would be something that you see with your eyes. Someone's language would be something you hear with your ears. That would be something you hear, not versus you see. So why would you say that you can see if someone is illegal?
Well, I guess I should have said hear and see because culture is another thing. Like
Parlez-vous
how
français?
someone moves, how they act. You can definitely tell when someone's from a foreign country, like from
Parlez-vous
birth.
français?
And recently, you said what?
Parlez-vous français?
Do I speak French?
Uh-huh.
Not really. I mean, bonjour, comment ça va, je m'appelle KJ. Comment tu t'appelles?
Okay. Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
That's about it. No, little Arabic, Assalamu alaikum, tusbi alahar.
Okay.
And
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
nah. Is that German? I
Nein.
hope so. Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not
So-
German. So
Yeah.
I would. If you're asking about foreign languages,
Well, that's what you
we're gonna have
said,
to look
is
at
that you
public school
hear
for
someone
that.
speaking a different language. And that means that they're not
Oh.
American.
No. It's more so like if someone's been in America for a while, like a long time, you could America has a culture. It's a very strong culture. Some people get Americanized, some people don't. It kind of just depends on how long you're here. When I had a foreign exchange student from Italy, he was a completely different person when he left here. Like America's just an insane culture, and it rubs off on people.
What is define American culture?
It's kind of hard to put into words, just like because America's a group of people from all over the place, right? It's a melting pot. So it's not as easy to pinpoint as like an Italian culture or an Arabic culture or an Asian culture. it's just hard to say exactly because like I've been so used to it, so it's kind of hard to pinpoint exactly what points me in that direction to like tell. But I don't know. It's just like the way people carry themselves, you know. Like I'm sure most of your callers can like realize like Americans have a certain way of like acting, you know, whether it be loud or, you know, have a little ego on them, a little swag to the walk, you know. There's a couple different things. It's just American culture, you know.
Right, so undefined.
I wouldn't say undefined. Like, do you have any friends that are like from foreign countries?
Yeah,
like
plenty.
specifically like Arabic countries?
Arabic offhand, no, I can say not that I'm aware of. Well, no, that's not Arabic. That was
Yeah, those are
Slavic.
probably the easiest one to tell because people from, you know, Arabic, Muslim countries, they probably have some of the strongest cultures from like what I've seen. So that's one of the easiest ones to spot. Like you can definitely tell. Like I've had roommates in the past when I was in college that were like from India, Pakistan. India is not really Muslim, but Pakistan, they have a large Muslim population. So it's just kind of easy to tell, you know. A lot of them don't smoke, they don't drink, they don't do a whole lot of partying. It's completely different than the American way of life, I would say.
Oh, okay, so other countries have defined culture, or at least what you perceive as defined culture that is different or antithesis of American culture.
Yeah, I mean,
Have you ever been to
I
Little
don't want to
Italy?
take that and say, you said what?
Have you ever been to Little Italy?
To Little Italy in New
How
York?
about Chinatown?
I have, yeah. I went to New York once, not for a while. It's with a church. It was great.
Mm.
It's a big city.
Yeah, that's weird. I
But I've been
also
to
don't
Italy.
smoke, but
I
I
just
guess
came
I'm a
back from
foreigner
Italy.
now. No, I'm not talking
Yeah,
about
like a
Italy,
month
the
ago.
country. I'm talking about Little Italy.
Oh, I know.
I
Yeah.
think, okay. So
Yeah.
how do you know none of them are illegal? Because those are settled places within the United States.
Oh, I'm just talking about people that actually, like, I don't ever assume someone's illegal. It's just something that's come up in
But
conversation.
you said you can
It's
tell.
like,
So that's a
no, I can
difference.
tell when someone's like, when someone hasn't been here long, not that they're illegal, you know?
That's not what you said. You said you can see when someone is illegal, and we understood that meant
No,
you meant
no.
heard because you can't. You said you can't tell by looking at someone, so that means that you are
No.
making an assumption that someone is illegal or undocumented.
No, that's not what I said. I can tell when someone hasn't been here long, like they're from a foreign country. That has nothing to do with their legal status. I was talking about like I was more so saying like the way they act, the way they talk, going back to that American culture. But that's neither here nor. I was just talking about the fact that like I'd actually talk to people and ask them like, "Are you here legally? Like, how'd you get here?"
Why
Stuff
would
like
you
that.
ask someone that?
Why would I not? I can't be curious about someone's life, like what they've had to go through.
That's
how
more
they
than
ended up
just
where they
simple
are,
curiosity.
their journey.
Asking somebody why. If
Yeah.
are you here on with papers? That's quite
No, you
strange.
don't ask that. It's more so like, how long have you been here? Oh, you know, been here for blah, 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 blah. Where are you from? I'm from here. Is your family still there? Yes, they are. How'd you get here? Was it? And then, you know, it's a conversation, just like with anything, you know? So it's come up a lot. You know, I'm a curious person. I like to learn. So I have asked a lot of people, yeah.
Yeah. Do you report them too?
No, are you kidding me? I would never
Mm.
take something that someone said in a private conversation with me and report them to the authorities. You know, I have friends that are drug dealers. I'm not going to report them to the authorities either. So, no. That's the authorities to do. That's what they get paid to do. That's not my job.
So is your idea of American culture interrogating people that you meet, like immigrants, and find out their status?
Interrogating is a strong word for a conversation. You
I
know?
mean, you're
Like I said,
asking
it's just
very
getting to know
pointed
someone.
questions that you would typically ask in a conversation. Like if I'm having a general conversation,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get a direct answer. I don't ask pointed
Yeah.
questions. I might be curious. I'm like, oh, something you said sparked my interest. Let me ask a couple
Well,
follow-ups.
yeah, it's usually like
And you're asking
accent's a big thing.
very
Like I always
deeply
want to know, like when
personal
someone. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
questions.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
How would you feel if somebody that you had a conversation with got deported?
Got deported?
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of a win-lose situation because, you know, breaking the law is breaking the law. Just like I said, I have drug dealers that are friends. It's not a good thing, but like, you know, I love people, you know. I'm not going to hold, and they're not really hurting anybody from like a direct sense. So I'm not going to hold anybody to that, but they are breaking the law. And we live in a society, a high trust society where we've agreed on like, these are the laws we're going to have in place, you know? So like, if you break it, there are consequences. I want that to happen to you? No, but it doesn't really have as much to do with me as it does with that person because I didn't make that choice, you know? So, like, you can feel empathy for something and still, on the other hand, say that somebody has to take accountability for their actions.
Yeah, that's when you give them the right to due process. Instead, the Trump administration is trying to avoid giving them the right to due process when thereby being able to submit a writ of habeas corpus.
Well, the due process is definitely an American thing. The problem is,
It's not an American
a
thing.
lot of
It's
those
way more than that.
cartels. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry, due process was not invented by the U.S.
No, but we live in America. We have due process. It's an American concept to us. You know, I'm not debating on where it was founded because I don't even know who founded it or who came up with it. Shout out to them because it's awesome. But it's an American thing. Americans, they're known for, you know, innocent until proven guilty, even though that's not really the reality with social media, as we can see. But that is what it's supposed to be. However, the caveat is that because of the way the laws are set up and they designated a lot of those cartels, especially in Mexico, South American countries, you know, if they're designated as terrorist organizations and they find something to affiliate you with that terrorist organization, that will strip you of some rights, including due process. That's not, we can say it's wrong, but that is the law. It's not commonly used. I haven't seen it used before, but it is being used.
Okay, so we kind of got off subject. So why are you still supporting Trump, I guess?
Well, the number one thing is, you know, I'm going to support whoever I think closely aligns with what I'm trying to get done. Getting people out that aren't supposed to be here is a big part of getting stuff done, for sure. You know, you can't have a country unless you have borders that you enforce.
Our borders
So that's
were
really
enforced.
a big step. Yeah, you have to really enforce them, though.
They were.
Like, you have to really, you can't just say, here's a border, don't cross. Oh, you cross, it's cool. Like,
Yeah, no,
there has to be
see,
consequences.
so that's what an encounter is at the southwest border, even at the northern border. That's what an encounter is. It's a track of how many times CBP upheld our laws at the southwest border.
Yeah, and encounters, but I mean, we can go back to most of the time. I don't know what the current situation is with the law, but there was a certain stipulation in there to where you had to meet a certain number of encounters before you could start that process.
What are the
of
three parts that
deporting
make up
people.
encounter?
I think it was like
No.
1,000. What
What
it?
are the
1,000 something encounters.
Yeah, what are the three
You know what I'm
parts
talking
that
about?
make up? No, I don't. I have an idea, but
You didn't hear about
I
that.
can tell you to
That
be
was in
sure that you're
the
wrong.
in the immigration bill they were trying to pass a couple of years ago.
Yeah, no, okay. So you're talking about the Langford Act, where when it was the Langford bill where it was proposed that if they hit 5,000, I think it's actually 7,500 encounters in a week, it would shut down the southwest border. And that bill never passed, right?
Yeah, it never passed. Which,
Gotcha.
thank goodness.
So
I don't
what
know
is
why you would
the
have something in there that would say we have
well?
to
What's our
let
current
this happen
limit?
a certain amount of times before we
What's
start
but
doing
hold
it.
on, KJ. What's our
Yeah.
current limit on encounters
Oh, I'm
before
sure
we
it's probably
close down
higher.
our border?
I'm sure it's
Border.
probably higher.
Oh no, it's unlimited. Why wouldn't you want to put a cap? Sorry, it was 5,000, not
I want the cap to be
7,500.
0. I don't want anybody coming over here illegally.
You would never have 0 encounters. That's not what an encounter is.
Yeah.
That's what I was asking you. What makes
Yeah.
up? What are the 3 things that make up a border encounter? This is provided to everybody on DHS's OHSS website. What are the
Yeah, go
3
ahead
things
and
that make up an encounter?
Yeah, go ahead and enlighten me.
Apprehensions, inadmissibles, and expulsions. Do any of those sound like people that were let into the country
Apprehension.
within 100 miles of the southwest border under 8 U.S. Code 1227? Yeah, apprehensions. People that
You
are
have to
picked
have
up.
What?
Yeah,
You have to have-
when you're
you said 70
apprehended,
Yeah.
that means you were picked up by
don't do that.
CBP. You were caught.
Hey, don't do that. I've seen you catch that same attitude with other people on the phone call. Don't do that. Yeah.
Anyways, so
All right. Are we in first grade or are we adults?
I was
All right,
just
let's lock in.
mimicking what it sounds like when someone's tone police comes on. I just don't have a sound of
It's
an
not
actual
tone
police
police.
siren.
You can have
so
whatever tone you want. Just don't be.
So anyways, so about an encounter,
a
which part of the 3 things that I said just allows people to
elementary
come
teacher?
over?
I'm saying I don't want anybody coming over. We can debate on that. fact or
Again,
not. I'm
you
saying
can't,
Republicans haven't done
sir.
it. Democrats
You're
haven't
always
done
going
it.
to have
I want it
encounters,
done.
even if, sir, I think you have
Yeah.
an inherent misunderstanding. You're
Yeah.
always going to have encounters, even if the border is shut down. But I'm glad
You
that
can
you're
have encounters. I don't want nobody coming over here illegally though.
Yeah, that's what an encounter is. It's literally an enforcement action at the southwest border. They're not allowed into the country. They are rejected from coming into the country. So that's what it means when we have high encounter rates. You should just admit by what you're saying that you don't want anybody coming here, that you're just xenophobic.
It's not xenophobic. I mean, every country, like most countries, are the same. Like, I mean, some have loosened up, but like, from my point of view, I think about it logically. A lot of stuff I think about is logic. I love people. I love everybody.
No, you
equally,
don't. You just said you don't want
but-
anybody to come over to across the border, so that's incorrect. You obviously don't love everybody.
Yeah. See, like we haven't even continued the conversation because, like, I'm trying to debate a macro topic, and you're diving into micro specifics. I'm trying
Words
to
have
tell
meaning.
You that,
You would
from
agree
my
that
point of view,
words.
as a
You would
Republican
agree
point of
that
view,
words
like,
have meaning.
Yeah. Words have meaning.
Yes, your words have
Yeah.
meaning.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sure.
So we have to have a mutually shared understanding of the words that you're utilizing in order to
Yeah, so, like,
address
could you
your
elaborate
macro
how-
topic, and that
Yeah.
requires a microscope to look at them.
So I'm talking about, like, I don't want.
Why don't you
anybody
want
coming
people
over
to come
here
into the
illegally.
United
Do you agree with
States?
that?
Why
Like,
don't you
what's
want
your
people to
viewpoint on
come
that?
into the United States?
I didn't say that.
You just said you want no one
We gotta
crossing the
get on
southwest
we gotta
border.
get on the same
You want
page
no
before
one
we can have a
crossing the
productive
border, sir, KJ. It
Yeah,
might. What? I'm
illegally.
sorry.
Illegally.
No, you didn't say illegally.
Like
you
you
just
said,
said you
words are
didn't want
important.
anyone crossing the southwest border.
Illegal.
Any
That's-
border.
I
You said you
I
didn't
started
want
off the
anyone
conversation
crossing
with
the border.
Illegal.
You didn't say that.
Well, my dad came over legally, so of course I'm in favor of legal migration, immigration. I'm specifically talking about illegal. No access was given, no permission given.
Yeah,
Instead, coming
they're
through the
not
door
given
and knocking
permission.
and letting
I don't
somebody-
yeah, no one, if they cross through non-ports of entry, they're not given permission. That is true.
Yeah, so I don't want anybody coming over here without permission.
Cool.
wanna make
Most
permission
people don't
easier for
either,
people to
including
get.
me. I also don't want people coming across through non-ports of entry. That would be great. There's only one way we can
Well,
actually
I've
change that,
actually
update
heard-
our immigration laws.
Yeah. Well, I'm in favor of that. That's what I'm saying. Like, I've
Cool.
heard
The
you,
Republican Party is
say,
not.
like, all Republicans
The
are
Republican Party
racist
is
or
not. They're
something
not up.
instead,
They're
like-
not putting forth anything to update our immigration laws.
Yeah. So, like, this is kind of the problem with America. Like, when you have a discussion about stuff, and it's kind of the problem that like encapsulates most people, as I've heard from past
This is
phone
the
calls.
macro part of your
Those,
topic is updating the immigration laws that is required in order to reduce undocumented illegal border crossings through non-ports of entries by updating our immigration laws. If you're not doing anything to address the root issue, which is our immigration laws are so
the root
antiquated
issue
and
is
they
very
haven't been
easy to
updated
address.
since 1996 with any significant type of reform, then yeah, they're antiquated, outdated, need to be updated. Unless we're focusing on updating the laws, then we're not fixing the system. Deporting
So how
people is
about
not
this?
fixing
Can
the
we
system.
agree? Can we agree that we don't want people coming over here illegally?
I already said that. Are you good?
Yes. So what would you
Cool.
propose? I'm like that's the reason I'm calling is to like have a conversation. Like, what would you say would be the best solution to like stopping illegal immigration and increasing the capacity that they have to do legal immigration?
That immigrants have to do legal immigration?
No, the government. Like, what would we need to do on the government side to make
Yeah, for
legal
one, offer
immigration
a
easier?
mass amnesty program for the immigrants that are already within the United States of America that they have to apply for.
Why?
Because let me finish. Thank you. So if you open up a program where they apply for amnesty, right? That means that we're getting their information, we're knowing what country they're from, and then we get to vet them. And then we also know where they live. And if they don't pass the vetting process, they can get removed. Right? That would be the best way because then you can track down everybody, right? And also, they're already contributing more than likely to our taxes. So with that, if they're already paying into the system, they should be able to enjoy the benefits of said system once they're allowed to become a U.S. citizen due to being allotted mass amnesty and the ability to apply for it so we can know exactly where they are. The other part that I would also endorse is increase our immigration judges, not hire specifically people that aren't familiar with immigration law, like how we're doing it right now, people that actually work in the immigration system, and make sure that the rulings are given fairly with the same standards applied to everyone from every country, which isn't applied right now. It even varies administration to administration. Ideally, I think that the immigration court system needs to be moved out from under the executive branch of government and needs to be moved to the judicial, well, technically the legislative branch, but it should not be under the executive branch's purview and should operate similarly to how our criminal and our civil courts do, which is independent of the president of the United States and what he determines to be the process that it should be. I think that would be the best way because then we can have a standardized immigration court system that adheres to the exact same standards no matter who is president of the United States, and it doesn't change from administration to administration. And then every single time that a new administration comes in, that they then have to update and refresh what's going on and what this administration is gearing towards.
Okay. So you're definitely in favor of mass selective.
I literally already said that, yeah. TikTok, y'all are not tapping that screen. I need you guys to double tap the screen or I will turn off the comments for a minute.
Any past transgressions, any people that have committed the act of breaking the law in the past. Okay.
Yes, if you allow them to apply for amnesty, we know who they are.
Yeah. It has been done before, so there is precedent for that. We could do it. Okay. That's fine. So and when you say vetting, like who would be doing the vetting process?
Probably the Department of Homeland Security and the Department of Justice. We could even loop in the CIA because they have external contacts.
Yeah. What would be some things you would be looking for in the vetting process to see, like
violent crimes?
Violent crimes, okay. Obviously, I'd look at that. What about nonviolent crimes, property crimes?
It depends on the severity, and it would literally be a case by case basis. This is not blanket amnesty. This is mass amnesty open for people to apply for, and then they get reviewed on a individual basis.
Okay. So I'm just throwing out hypotheticals here. Obviously, we've given out mass amnesty to an extent in the past. Obviously, maybe you could point out the fact that that wouldn't really align with what you're saying because we didn't improve the immigration law when we did that. But let's just say we do. We give everyone mass amnesty. We say you're good to go. You know, you came here illegally. You may have broken some petty small laws like stealing from a store or setting a building on fire, but we'll forgive you, right? That's fine. Obviously, I'd point to the fact, what about the other crimes they've committed? Would that not
What crimes?
be an indicator of future crimes? Like if they were convicted of something like non-violent property crimes, wouldn't that be an indicator of like,
Not
you know,
necessarily. There is
yeah.
a
I mean,
low crime rate within the immigrant population to start with within the United States of America. And so because they already have a low crime rate, they already have a low recidivism rate.
well, I know there's a low crime rate, for sure. Just like there's a low crime rate for white people. I mean, they're in the same category when you look at crime statistics. Hispanics
No,
and
by the
white.
aggregate numbers, white people commit the most crime.
Well, not per capita.
Correct. That's why I said aggregate.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, anytime you have a majority of the population, you would expect them to be majority of the crime. Yes or no? But we can agree.
I just want to be clear that
you
when you
know,
look at the aggregate numbers, only one category is like beats out of white people, and that's for robbery. Otherwise,
well,
white people make up the
aggregate,
majority of. Yes, I'm aware of what aggregate is.
they
That's
are
why
the
I'm
majority of the
utilizing that term.
population.
I'm
We could
aware of
also
what
deep dive
aggregate
into
is.
the
That's why I'm
stats
utilizing that term.
of.
Thank you. I'm aware of what aggregate is. That's why I'm utilizing
Let me
that
know when you're
term.
done. Yeah, I was still
Yeah,
going.
cool.
I was going to say we
I
could
was
deep dive into
literally
the stats
talking.
and how they're collected and how, you know, people are selected as white race when they're not, when you're looking at crime statistics and arrest reports. Easily researchable.
Are you not aware
You know,
that
you look
people
at
are the ones that say what race they are?
when they get there, yes, but that's not what's written down in the police report.
I'm done. Okay. I am utilizing Richard, you lighting up the money gun in my gift gallery as the kick. I can't anymore. That was so dumb. Some white people like in a state of fucking delusion regards to crime. Yeah. No, I'm just being honest. Like, by the aggregate, the white people commit the most crime. Also, we're barely the majority. It's some 59%. So it was. Your xenophobia showed you don't want anybody coming in. You didn't specify whether it was legal or non-illegal. So that wasn't true. You added that specification later. So just saying that. Okay. Ooh, hi, how are you?
Good, and you?
Doing well. How old are you for TikTok terms of service?
Last I checked, I was 35.
Okay. Give me just 1 second. I forgot to thank some people. Do you mind waiting? Just a moment?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. I appreciate that. Okay, guys, real quick, I want to say thank you to Neely for the 5. She paid for a mute for the rest of the live. Thank you, Chris, for the assistance as well for the 35. I already brought that down. Chris said he visited Vancouver, Canada, and heard at least 5 other languages, and he loved it. And I love that for you. And then I have thank you, Benita, for the vet fund. I did get it. Thank you, Michelle. Well, we know what you paid for. Thank you. And then Sonia, thank you so much as well. Said first time donating. I hope everything goes well. I appreciate that. It is for a beautiful cat, and she's gorgeous. She's so friendly too. All right. Okay. And are you still supporting Trump or the Republican Party?
Well, I am actually unaffiliated, and I don't support any party that doesn't support me.
Okay.
So I think the idea that a lot of us want is that we want the best for us as people.
Sorry, I have a dog coming up to say hi. Okay, and so I guess, did you vote for Trump in 2024?
Excuse me. Unfortunately, yes. I, at that point in time, saw him as the lesser evil. And, you know, I may or may not have been wrong. I can't call it because we didn't get to see the other side. But I do know that we're not where I had hoped we would be.
Yep, that's true. So are you regretting your vote?
I don't regret it. I can't have digression for a thing that I don't know would have been better. Kamala,
Kamala.
oh, sorry.
You're fine. Just we want to pronounce
But,
names correctly.
And that's my bad. I don't know that she could have done it better. I don't know that Trump would have done it worse. And for a lot of us, nobody did, you know. We just tried to make the best decision that we could at that point in time.
Okay, but you're not still in support of him.
I'm in support of the people. I support you. I support me. Unfortunately, so I have to as well support some of the latter speakers on your show. I have an idea. It is abundantly clear to me at this point that most people are undereducated. So, given that you're a smart woman, how about we try to shed some light on the ways of the world so that maybe people can understand that.
Like what specifically?
Well, the difference between dementia and dictatorship. I forget the last one. Knowing how people are immigrants or illegal, knowing how they were illegal. That's a long time. Well, what is your message? Well, what are you trying to deliver? I stumbled across this. I don't even know what your name is.
Yeah, my name is Ari, and my purpose or what my goal is to um, combat mis and disinformation. Also, if you
Oh, no
hear
shit.
purring, it's because I picked up my cat and she's
Nice. Ari, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Terrible name. What do you think of the idea that it doesn't really matter if they're Republican or Democratic or whatever? These people are paid several $100,000, salaries, and they don't care about us.
Or you're talking about people in the administration? Yeah, appointed, not elected is a part of a problem. Um, and yes, this is literally as far as dollar amount goes, the wealthiest administration or cabinet, presidential cabinet that we've ever seen, ever had in our history. Even I think even accounting for inflation, we literally are ran by oligarchs.
Yeah. I mean, we look at these people, and I mean, you've got to look at people like Elon or Jeff Bezos, right? You know, Amazon. You look at these guys. At the end of the day, they have the pull, right? Or do I sound like a conspiracy theorist?
They have influence. I'm not disagreeing.
Well, with money comes anything. The government is not out for our better interest. It doesn't matter which side of that spectrum you choose to identify with. It's not white, it's not black. It's not legal or illegal. They don't really care for us.
I disagree to a degree. It really just depends, right? So there are people that are campaigning actively that are fighting against what you can call the establishment. You can look at John Ossoff, who is not taking PAC money. You can look at James Tallarico, who's also not taking PAC money. They're both Democrats. You can look at all of the DSA candidates who are also not taking any kind of corporate PAC money, right? So that would be Claire Valdez. There's two other ones in New York whose names I can't remember. You have people that haven't won their primaries yet, but you can look at this. The people that are not taking corporate donor money are exactly the ones that you should be endorsing at that point. So if your issue is money in politics, then you got to start with that. Look at only vote for the people that aren't taking corporate donors for the midterms coming up. Melanie Stansbury isn't. And you can look on all of this on the fec.gov website. They keep track of it. There's also, what's the name of that website? Let me see. Hold on. That's not what I want. I think it's Open Secrets. Yep, that's what it is. OpenSecrets.org. You can actually track down how the money came about. Thank you, Mia. Where it came from. So.
Nice. Right. So, and I'm not trying to argue with you, but I just want to point this thing out. When we had Trump on his first election, we had some underdogs that were great, potentially. And when we had Biden on his election, we had some underdogs that would have potentially been, you know, maybe better than him. And on Trump's second election, we had some underdogs that would have been better picks. I would venture to guess that's largely where money starts to come into the argument. They can't, where's the, blanked. But I don't have a good excuse for it like last guy.
Well, it sounds like we're not really in disagreement with the majority of things, so I think I am going to move on. I appreciate your time, okay?
Fair enough. Can we agree on one thing, though? Yeah or no?
Make it quick.
Do you believe that the government cares about any of us, be it white, black, beige, creed, or race?
Individuals may or may not. I believe that some do and some don't.
Well, it's unfortunate. See, they don't care about any of us equally.
Well, yeah, have a good one. Okay. Thank you guys. And also, thank you, Puggles, for the 5. Said, hope the Pootie Ted is doing well. Yes, Safari is doing well. She's a pretty happy cat. If y'all missed her purring, I'm sorry. She was great. She's so cute. Hi, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing well. How are you?
Awesome. I'm doing great. How old are you for terms of service?
I'm 30.
30. And you're still supporting Trump?
Yes.
What's he done to earn your continued support so far this term?
He's exposed a lot for me personally in my lifetime of like just like I can name like a few different things like hypocrisy maybe and ignorance and pretty much a lot of people that I have around me.
Like what?
Well, like for example, my father, growing up, he was pretty favorable of certain political views, and he being young, just look at it kind of like he's my dad, so I agree with him. But growing up, I guess, has taught me like how to think for myself and getting sucked into that, and then kind of having a appreciative way to look at it, sort of like the underlining for me of why I support it.
So like what can you be specific on anything?
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. Kind of like how you were saying about socialism. How there's a gentleman on here who couldn't really even define it, for example, and I couldn't either when you mentioned it, and I just thought it was like kind of eye-opening. Uh-oh. Nope. It's eye-opening for me to see how basic words. Oh, and your idea of definitions being so important. It's like I love that. How like basic words are just used all the time, and we sort of don't even pay attention to what they actually mean. We kind of just let them guide us emotionally.
Yep, that does happen. I agree. Sorry, my dog's getting all excited. She wants attention.
Yeah. Wait, I was gonna ask you: is she part shepherd?
She's an Australian Shepherd. Yes.
Yes. Okay, those are the best. Long hair too. What the?
Okay.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can still hear you. So
Yeah, I support Trump and Republicans for sort of opening my eyes on kind of like our own human nature and how people can be misguided in mass just based off of what they're told and without even using any type of brain power at all. It's kind of scary, but in my opinion, more than me personally, maybe not for everybody else, but it sort of seems like we're coming to a conclusion soon with the political aspect of things.
are you talking about for like accelerationism to get to some undefined end goal? The disillusionment of our government or something? Ooh, thank you,
Kind of.
Miami.
It kind of seems like they're ushering in some type of big change. Might not necessarily be the greatest. I mean, some people might disagree, but it just appears that way. That perception of people in general have, I guess.
So you mostly just support Trump and the Republicans off of vibe or a undefined framework to a government that you're not sure what it would look like at the end? Just a change of the United States government, but you're not sure what that change is or what it would look like or how they're going about doing it?
I'm kind of confident. I have a weird feeling about what's going to happen. I don't like talking about it, but sort of, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we won't talk about it then. Yeah, I can't do that. I don't know what that was. It was very strange. I don't know what we're looking or how they're changing the government or the United States. I don't know what that is. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Real quick before I bring up the other caller, let me see if I can do this correct. All right. If you are watching over in my YouTube landscape live, we will be gifting out 5 subs. So I'm going to give you guys a moment if anyone wants to traverse over to landscape version on YouTube, and I will gift out 5 subs, 5 memberships, sorry. 5 free memberships to try out over on the Tube of Yubes. Yeah, they love to call themselves constitutionalists and not even understand what the Constitution means or anything like that. It's insane to me. You're right, Raccoon. So, if y'all want to do that, you have a chance to get a random sub or membership. I keep saying the wrong word, membership. I did nearly say free. You guys got to be active in that chat, though. Be very active participants. So it's Mermaid RE0 on all of the... Emily, you need to go to my profile and look for the thumbnail that has RFK's face on it. Because I do that, Neely. I think it's only a 15-second one over there. It's only a 15-second one on landscape. The thumbnail with RFK on it, I believe, is the landscape version. Unfortunately. Can we get to a caller that's actually to the left of Ariana? She's like, yeah, I mean, I'm probably not left enough. I don't disagree with you, intern. I'm probably not left enough for a lot of people. It's not that long. I'm sorry. You gotta be patient, Neil. You gotta have patience. All right. Okay, we're doing this in 10, 9, 8, 7. Thank you, Heavensley. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And Emily, you made it. I don't know who gets it. It's just random. Let's see. We'll see who got 5 memberships. Okay. You didn't get it this time, Emily, but I will be giving out 5 more on Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. Well, you were in the wrong chat too, Chris. I don't know which chat. Okay, but we got Uber Crow, Seth, Grant, Nicole, Winnie, and Heavensley. Thank you for doing that. Yeah, you guys got it. Okay, we're going to move on to the other caller, and we'll do another giveaway on Wednesday. So make sure you guys come back on Wednesday. Thank you for calling the stream.
Hey, how's it going?
Going well. How old are you for terms of service?
I am 42.
42. And are you still supporting Donald Trump?
I am, but not as much as I used to.
Okay.
Well, I should say not as much as the first term. Mostly, I don't love a presidency during a lame duck. I think there's too many big changes trying to happen at once instead of a lot of little changes. And I think when you make big changes like they're trying to do, that's when you start stumbling a little bit.
Okay. So like
I've
what?
been like if you want to start talking about cuts to welfare, I think there's programs that, yeah, there's a lot of fat that's getting wasted, but at the same time, there's so many programs out there that are so good for people, and for those programs to be caught in the same crosshairs as the other ones, I think it's a little unfair. For example, WIC would be one. I think WIC is one of the greatest programs that we've ever set up in this country.
Yep. Yet they're cutting its budget.
So I think I see it like a little wind-up robot that has to take 90 steps to get somewhere, versus one of those Atmos robots trying to climb a staircase. Like, one is sure and steady, and little change, sure enough, we get there. But the big one's trying to take these gigantic steps. And when you take big steps like that, there's a really good chance you're going to stumble. But I've been sitting here while I was on hold. I have, in the world we live in, everyone's thinking about this all the time anyways, but I was trying to figure out exactly what I wanted to talk about. And I think the number one thing I wanted to talk about was immigration.
Okay, what about it specifically?
So, where do you stand on it? Do you think we should have no border? Should we have talks about simplifying the immigration process? Or are you for no new immigrants coming into the country at all?
No, I'm not for open borders. That's not my prerogative. Also, really quickly, sorry. Ryu and now Corey, thank you so much for the gifted memberships over on YouTube. All right. Appreciate that, guys. No, I not in support of wide open borders. I believe that if we are to maintain as a country, then we need to have defined borders, right? And no, I believe that people should be allowed to travel into our country and seek citizenship if that's what they want or how they so choose. I believe that the process is outdated, antiquated, and backed up. We need more immigration judges, and I believe specifically, as I said previously, that the immigration court should not be directly under the President of the United States, should be able to operate independently from them so that there is less bias and less changes that happen directly between administrations. And it creates a lot of confusion.
So I guess I am, if we were, let's say, even 12 years ago, I would be way more in favor of just updating our immigration process to make it easier for people to come in. But when you look at the state that we're in today, I have to say that I just don't think there's room. And it's going to sound vulgar and crude, but I just don't think there's any room for anyone new to come into the country, as crude as that sounds.
What state are we in today?
I'm in Missouri. Oh, I'm sorry. You mean like what's the state of the country? I mean,
Yeah.
we have a serious mental health epidemic in this country.
Every time the
We have,
Democrats propose a mental health legislation, it's shot down by Republicans. Mental
that's
health doesn't get
great.
funded.
We have a serious drug epidemic in this country.
Yep, and that's an addiction. It is a mental health thing.
We have a serious homeless epidemic in this country.
Yep. Federal government's not doing anything to help that.
We have a completely irresponsibly broken foster care system in this country.
Yeah, no one's trying
Like
to fix that. That's
we have veterans that aren't getting taken care of. We have a ton of people that aren't getting taken care of. So why would you think that's a good idea to bring more people into this country?
Oh, let's see. Easiest way is because our birth rate is declining, and we need. Well, unfortunately, this is kind of sounds a little bit crass. We do require changing out in our workforce for people retiring. And even if people start
Absolutely.
having like popping out babies in this administration, it takes 18 years for them to be full-fledged adults and be able to jump into the workforce, right? And so having immigrants that are already adults and capable of working go into those workforces, no matter what it is, whether it's doctors, whether it's roofing, whether it's flipping burgers, whether it's being a taxi driver, whether it's selling cars at the Chevy dealership down the road. Any of these things, they can do any of those, but we have to supplement our workforce for the retiring age population.
So,
And they
like
pay
you said,
taxes.
it takes a long time for all the kids born in 2020 or 2024 to reach adulthood to where they're getting taxed. So your idea is to supplement the loss of those people by bringing more people in to do that. Even though the system that we have already can't take care of the people that are already here.
Oh, we
But
could.
in
There are just
18
spots
years,
that we would have to stop spending in specifically. Like, and also if we just simply remove the cap on Social Security tax, we'd fix a whole issue right there.
I guess my biggest concern is if you supplement that workforce by bringing in outsiders, what happens in 18 years? So you specifically said you want them
The
to take
economy grows.
doctor positions, you want them to take teacher positions.
Yeah, so I can
Uh,
explain this. This
and
is actually
this
not
is going to sound
hard
wrong
to
and say
explain.
lower on the totem
Um,
pole of jobs.
Yep, easy to explain this, right? So when we have more people paying into the tax system, right? That means that the government can offer more, you can say, welfare opportunities for people that absolutely need it, right? Not for people that are just looking for a handout, which is a very small percentage of any fraud within the system. And even if you look at SNAP benefits, that fraud, it's not even fraud. It's a mismanagement of payment systems from the state, and it's less than 5%. But if we have people
Less than
paying tax,
5%
if
of
we
what,
have
though?
less than 5% of all 42 million recipients have experienced any type of quote fraud, right? And what it is that 5% are states either underpaying or overpaying recipients, which if they overpay, those people have to pay it back. There's less than 1% of people have defrauded SNAP, less than 1%. Same thing with Medicaid and Medicare. As individuals defrauding them, the majority of what you find that's fraudulent in Medicaid and Medicare are institutions intentionally overbilling for services or ordering tests that were not medically necessary and then billing it to the government, right? The fraud is in the states or it's in the institutions that are offering the services. It's not the way that people think it is. Studies have been done. They're out there. Y'all can read. Anywho, if we have people that are around to pay into the system, they pay into our taxes, right? Then we can build up a fund or funds that allow us to subsidize certain industries, right? Because I actually believe in government subsidization of, let's say, the housing industry, where we are encouraging construction workers to build more housing, right, across the country, preferably affordable housing. Like, why don't we invest in tiny homes? Just a thought process. If we invested in tiny home, little areas in each state, the government can absolutely subsidize those. Those are not expensive. They are small in size, and they can still fit a family of 4, depending on where you're at and how it's built, right? If we offer grant programs to established companies where they can get refunded a portion of the money that they spend to build these communities for affordable housing that then people get to rent out of and live out of, then that helps our homelessness population. That helps our people coming in and everyone has a place to stay. If we put limitations on things like vacation homes being put up for rent on Airbnb or in Vrbo, because 30% of all of our empty homes are because they're being re-rented. The people aren't living there. They're being re-rented on Airbnb and Vrbo. And instead they were able to be owned by people that actually live there, if we prioritize people living on them, that would also fix an issue. If we do more than just what this current 21st century road to 21st century housing bill does, in stopping corporations from being able to purchase up homes en masse, and not just the 350,000 cap that's currently placed on it. It needs to be a much smaller cap, in my opinion. Then we could do so much more in fixing the housing industry. We also need to work on industrializing our rural parts of our some states that are pretty fucking barren, right? That have a hard time getting access to utilities, and the utilities that they get are more expensive. If we can industrialize parts of those areas, then we would also fix part of the issue. And that could be something that maybe the Department of Energy can subsidize. But if you have people that are paying into the tax system, specifically immigrants who can't get tax refunds when they pay into the system, so therefore all they're doing is paying and getting nothing in return, then that's how you actually fix the issues that you're stating, right?
But that's not fair either.
I'm not talking about fairness. I'm talking about equity.
You're see, my problem with all of this is that and give me some rope here. You are describing a situation of a perfectly run country where there's absolutely no flaws with any of it. There's no fraud going on. None of the problems that I mentioned earlier are happening, but we don't live in that world. Like, as much as I would love to see all of that happen, it's just not going to happen. You can't get enough people, unfortunately, you can't get enough people on board in this country to actually do that. You can go online and find videos all day of people that are from 20 to 45, healthy people that should be out there working, but they're not, and they are sucking the system dry for as much as they can.
See, I think the issue that you're having right now is that you're looking at this, everything that I explained, with a defeatist attitude instead of having an open mind and an acceptance that things could actually you have a defeatist attitude. You started off by saying that it's somehow this perfect reality that I described. It's not. I literally described checks and balances. It is your personal opinion that that's some kind of perfect reality. I'm not saying that none of it would be done incorrectly. There's always going to be little offs in the system.
To you, then why would you describe it? Why would you even list all that stuff off to how to fix an entire country and make things run perfectly?
No, I talked about fixing 2 specific issues. Technically 3, right? So I talked about fixing the housing issue. I was very specific with plans to do that. How we subsidize it, because we have a population that is working and paying into the system without receiving a direct monetary benefit, and as a result, though they still get credit for Social Security when they become citizens. So like all of those things I described, how to fix the housing system, how you can fix with immigrants and having them work for us instead of working against them. And then how we can even potentially lower energy costs. Yeah, I gave direct solutions to what is known to be a problem and part of the issues that you also listed. This isn't some fairy tale. These are things that can be done, and they have been done in other countries.
To a degree. Has any of that been done in a country as large as ours? Look, has it been done in the UK?
The UK is smaller than ours.
They have more of a population, though.
No.
I would almost be willing to bet you $10 right now that the UK population is larger than the US.
Nope, they're not. Go ahead and look it up.
Okay, so let's talk about India and China then.
Sorry, that was worth a laugh. What's the population size of the UK? Just out of curiosity.
Oh, I was just looking at the population of the U.S. versus the rest of the world.
Oh,
let's
okay.
see.
So you didn't look up the UK specifically.
Hang on 1 second.
Population.
See, remember this number, 349 million.
Yeah, the United Kingdom is 69.9 million.
Oh, 70 million. Okay, so I was wrong.
No.
But you can't deny that every fix that you recommended is possible in a world that already exists.
It is possible in a world that already exists. Are you familiar with the Nordic countries?
How large are the populations of the Nordic countries?
It's irrelevant. We have the largest GDP in the world, which would would implicate that we can afford to do this, right?
are
Like
Nordic
we're
countries-
the richest country in the world, right? That's what everyone keeps telling me, especially people on the right. I'm not saying that's you, but especially people on the right, that we have the largest GDP, so therefore we're the richest country in the world, yet smaller countries that are spending less on their civilians per capita than we are, I believe, are able to do all of these things. See, the Nordic countries believe that housing is a human right. The access to housing is a human right. So they ensure that every adult, every family has access to a home. Are all of them going to be very nice? No, some of them will be basic living places. But like bare bones living, and that's cool, and they are able to get through with that. But other countries are able to do it. That's why I said, like, we can do it. We just got to get past the defeatist attitude of we can't do that. That's an that's an utopian ideology when it's not. When it's already seen in reality, it's not utopian.
I don't think it's fair to use those countries as an example to compare to ours.
Why?
The populations are completely different.
Then I don't know why you would bring up China or India, because India is 4 times the population size of the United States of America, and China's right underneath them.
Right.
So you can't even use them as a comparison. So what country are
okay,
we
so-
supposed to compare ourselves to exactly?
Would you say that India and China are perfect?
No. Wouldn't say that either. Anyway, they're 4 times our population size. What country should I be comparing the United States for if you want to base it solely on population size? Because they don't
I don't
qualify.
really even want to base it on population.
Oh, well, they don't qualify.
Really, the
Then
only
why
reason
can't
I
we
ever
look
brought up
at
population is
look at the Nordic countries then?
Because you're talking about a country that has it's so much different than what the United States is.
How? They're democracies.
They are democracy. Are
Yeah.
they?
They're representative democracies similar to the United States. They also have their own forms of constitutions. So they're constitutional republics that is a form of democracy. So why can't we compare ourselves to the Nordic countries if we're not basing it off of population size?
Because we're so different.
In what
that's
way? In what way?
Amount of immigrants, work ethic,
Work
education
ethic?
system.
Oh, you mean how
Uh,
we're like, I literally just heard a senators say that we need to work 7 days a week. Like the United States population needs to be working 7 days a week, meaning 0 days off. So I truly don't want to hear shit about work ethic. I'm sorry that other countries specifically prioritize
No.
work-life balance. Like the fact that Nordic countries have a 4 to 5 day work week is fantastic. Do you know what they also have in their countries? I'll tell you this. They have mental health break rooms at their corporations that people work for. So if they're feeling overwhelmed, they can go sit themselves down in a room in a quiet space and zone out however they need to do it. And they also rank higher on the happiness index that you can find on World Population Review than the United States does by a long shot. People are happier in those countries. And also, they do get immigrants, right? Just a lot of people don't want to move. A lot of people, like me, right, don't want to move to colder countries. We don't even get 10 million a year. Are you okay?
Are they getting 4 million a year?
We don't even get 4 million a year. Are you good?
How many stops? No, that's not fair because I heard you say it earlier and you were conflating one definition with the other.
Oh, what did I say? Please enlighten me.
You had said something about there were 10 million. What was the word? It's not contacts.
Nope, didn't even say 10 million. I don't even think I said a name on encounters. Like a number,
No,
sorry.
you did. It was like 3 callers ago. It was why I was on. Hang on.
Yeah, so the total number of encounters under the Biden administration, if you literally go from January 2021 to January of 2025, is about 8.4 million. An encounter means people that are not allowed in the United States of America. So
Yes, that is only the number of people that did not make it over.
yeah, because we don't keep track of crossings, Pookie Pie.
So how many crossings were there?
We don't keep
between
track of
2020 and
crossings,
2025?
Junior.
Right. So you can't use that stat to back yourself up. Because if you don't know how many people didn't get stopped and come into a country, then the fact that how many people
No,
actually
we
got
already have
stopped
that
is
estimate.
completely
They're
irrelevant.
called gotaways. They're called gotaways, and the estimated gotaways was 3.3 million over the 4-year period. So still not 4 million a year. It's less than 1 million in a single year, point blank period, mathematically.
Those are, what was the term you just used?
Gotaways.
Gotaways. So those are people that self-report after coming over the border, correct? Because that's how we know about them.
No.
So how do you even know what that number is? It's a complete estimate?
Yes. It's estimated by the
again-
CBP and Border Patrol, and they keep track of it on their websites, right? And you can find it also how the Pew Research Center breaks it down as well. They do a great job on breaking down numbers and statistics that make it easy for anyone to understand, okay?
you have to
So when it
understand-
comes to these things, right? Like a gotaway is an estimate based off of specific signs that they see, whether it's near the southwest border wall. They look for things in the grass. They track people that are passing by security cameras that didn't get stopped by CBP or Border Patrol. That's what those are. That's how they get the estimates. They get the estimates by footprints. They get the estimates by security cameras and maybe even drone footage that they also have. Like these things, that's how they estimate the number of gotaways.
Great. But if there's no number
Their
to
scientific
show
method
how
is
many
broken
people
down.
actually came over, then those numbers are completely irrelevant. You can add the gotaways into the number of total people that came over.
They overestimate their number of gotaways. The number is always lower because they can't even account.
you were
See, because
saying-
here's the cool thing, right? So when we look at apprehensions, the specific part of what an encounter is, if someone is caught within 100 miles of the southwest border under 8 U.S. Code 1227, those are included as encounters because they are caught within 100 miles. They don't require due process either. It's caught like as if they were caught immediately trying to cross through a non-port of entry. So that's an encounter. That's an apprehension. That's people being picked up, right? They don't even know for sure on the people that they are picking up if they are to be removed from that got-away number, which is why they overestimate the number of gotaways. In reality, it's probably far less than that. Do we know how many people crossed and came here illegally? I don't know. Find me that statistic. I don't know what to tell you on that one.
I'm sure you could type into Google and say how many illegal immigrants.
Yeah, why don't you ever try doing that?
I mean, I can right now.
Yeah, I know you can. You have a supercomputer in your hand. Because I've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for someone to show me any proof of how many immigrants came in under Biden, since that's such a point of contention for some reason. But I still want to know why we can't compare ourselves to Nordic countries. But I still want to know why we can't compare ourselves. I still want to know. 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 Tom Jr. I still want to know why we can't compare. Junior, why can't we compare?
The number of unauthorized immigrants in the United States ranges from 12.2.
Y'all do so bad. Still going with undocumented, not legal. Let's see. Trying to find this. Uh-huh. So what'd you find?
I just told you the numbers I found.
No, you were interrupting me when I was trying to ask you a question because I was still trying to wait and find out why we can't compare ourselves to Nordic countries.
So you're gonna deflect back to that.
Dude, you're the one who deflected off of it and pivoted off the entire point to talk about immigration when I made a comment in response to you being like, well, they don't have immigration like ours. I'm like, yeah, because people don't like moving to the cold like that. OMG. Wow. Because people don't like moving. I know. I don't like moving to the cold. I agree with that. And then you went on this diatribe talking about crossings and encounter, total undocumented population, documented population. You got off of it from the original question. You diverted it. So why can't we compare ourselves to Nordic countries? You asked me for my solution. I gave it. You didn't like it. Why can't we compare ourselves to Nordic countries?
Again, because maybe they don't have the level of fraud that we have going on in our economy.
Every country has fraud. It's illegal.
Maybe they don't have the amount of...
Oh, okay, so you just have maybes? You don't have any facts. Why can't we compare ourselves to Nordic countries?
Do they have soldiers sleeping on the street?
Strike two. Why can't we compare ourselves to Nordic countries?
Because they don't have the same problems that we have.
Every country has the exact same problems as each other, except for gun control and gun violence. That's about the only thing that's different between all of the countries. Why can't strike two? This is literally your strike two. Why can't we compare ourselves to Nordic countries?
You just lost that.
Nope, we're done. You're not tracking anything that's being said. You are going off the topic, and I'm over it. Every country has fraud. And exactly, yeah, that's a good point. If they don't have homeless veterans, why not? Because Nordic countries guarantee housing for every single person in their country. They determine that housing is a human right, something that the United States of America has never done. Maybe if we actually prioritize our citizens, we'd get somewhere, but we don't. We demonize our citizens. Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great, ma'am. How about you?
Doing well. How old are you for terms of service?
I am 18 years of age.
Okay. You're still supporting Trump?
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
Because I believe that if it's intentionally wrong to kill an innocent human being, then abortion should be outlawed.
Nope, doesn't track.
How so?
How so? Well, because while it is human DNA, it's not a fully formed human being. Can you tell me, can a fetus achieve homeostasis?
No, ma'am. But a fetus.
Oh, fantastic. I'm
does
so
have
glad.
the
So yeah, they
ability-
can't survive on their own. They don't have the ability to achieve homeostasis. So while I recognize them as human DNA, and I'll recognize if a pregnant woman says that that's their baby, that's their baby. But for everyone else, it's just a fetus. And until it's able to achieve homeostasis, I don't recognize it as a fully formed human being.
All right. Now I'm going to bring up the point. Let's say we have an elderly person on like a ventilator, or somebody that is currently undergoing like a heart surgery or is in need of a heart transplant
sentience.
and is put on things.
Sentience.
Those
Do you know what a
people
sentience
also-
is?
A sentient is a living being. Yes, ma'am.
No, what is sentience? It's not a living being.
Could you please tell me what a sentient is, ma'am?
Sentience, not sentience.
Sentience. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
My
So
bad.
that would your ability to feel, sense, experience, remember things.
And does a sentience have, or I don't know if that's plural or singular, but do they have to meet all three of those criteria to be classified as that?
Yes, and somebody that is brain dead lacks that ability or that capacity.
Well, I would like to bring up like newborns and toddlers don't have the ability to remember most things except
Oh,
like
I also said experience. They still experience things just because they can't remember it. They're able to feel and sense things too. Wow, what a concept. It's like it fits everything that I described for you.
all right. Yes, ma'am. I do just want to clarify that,
And
a
sentience
fetus, I
doesn't
feel like-
occur for a fetus until at early 22
ma'am,
weeks.
could you please stop interrupting me?
No.
I feel like I'm trying to get off a
Because
thought
you're
and
not
every 2 seconds-
18, so I'm just fucking with you at this point.
Oh, okay. I'm really sorry.
Yeah. I don't do well with fake 18-year-olds. Not sure how you got past my screener, but yeah, I don't do well with fake 18-year-olds. So I don't need to, why? You're violating the rules. I'm not going to continue to talk to you. Because I don't have to. So here's what you guys I hope you guys heard what I said, right? I'll rehash this for you. Abortion. Right? Here's my issue with pro-lifers. And after this, I'm going to read through a few things. Here's my issue with people that are pro-life. You are only pro-life up until that baby is born, that fetus is born and becomes a baby, because that's what a child is, right? Or a baby is one that is recently born. Right? So, I know, Joseph, you're so upset. I know, Joseph, you're so upset. It's so sad. I'm so sorry. So, okay. And also for the person that's like, babies can achieve homeostasis on their own. It's not, they can't maintain it for a long time, but they still achieve homeostasis. So, that was my byline on that one. I hope that helps. Okay. The moment that you regulate abortion is the moment that you see that more of them occur. The moment that you regulate abortion is the moment that you see more maternity deaths. I do not, Lynn. And that's kind of an issue, right? But pro-lifers, what irritates me about this is that you only care about the fetus before it's born and you don't give a shit about the child after it's born. Pro-lifers typically align with the conservative party for some reason. And here's what your values are. You are for the death penalty. You don't care about human life. You're for cutting programs that feed women and children. You're not for human life. You blame the women that have died in this country as a result of abortion bans across this country. You're not pro-human life. You are okay with states like Texas, Tennessee, Alabama, Arkansas restricting access to abortion that are created out of a man molesting and raping a child. You would force a 10-year-old to have a child. You are not pro-human life. You are pro-birth. You do not believe in making sure children are fed in this country. I hear a lot of pro-lifers say that children shouldn't have access to free school lunches. You're not pro making sure the quality of life is anywhere decent. So you don't care about making sure that all children have access to health care to make sure that they're healthy and have a good life. You are only pro making sure that that fetus comes to fruition into a baby, and then you couldn't give two shits less what happens to them after they're born. You want babies in this world so badly that you don't give two fucking shits about what happens to them also, after all. Also, guys, for the mods in the chat, we're in the home stretch, so y'all can do whatever you want. You have free reign in the chats, just so you know. In the chats. You guys want a child? Hey, John. You want a child to be born to parents that do not love them. You do not do anything to fix our system when it comes to fucking our adoption network. You do nothing to fix it. You do nothing to make sure that they go to good homes. You don't fund the necessary checks to go in and find out if they are being treated correctly in those homes. In fact, you pay parents to temporarily house children. And I use the term parents very loosely here, to house children while also paying them to house these children and lets them fall through the crack. Oh, peace, love. Yes, there are women who suffer mental health issues after having an abortion, just like there are women who suffer mental health issues for having to carry a baby to full term. It's called postpartum depression. Postpartum depression extends to women that have an abortion. That's what it falls under, peace, love, kindness. But I don't see Republican Party doing anything to fund research into postpartum depression. I don't see them doing anything to fund research into women's mental health. I don't see them doing anything that's going to reduce the number of individuals that are suffering from postpartum depression. You are not looking out for the people. You are okay with states like Texas forcing women who have been the victims of rape to carry their child to full term, even though they might not want them. If a mother makes a choice to keep that child, then that's on them. That's their choice. But for the women that have experienced significant trauma and they are forced to carry that baby to full term, and then have it, and then potentially keep it because the adoption system is fucked. Our foster care system is fucked. What about the mental health for the women that have to see the face of their abuser every fucking day? pro-lifers are not pro-life. You coined a term that is specific for one issue while you don't give a shit about the American people or any person in the world as a whole. You are pro-mass deportation, most of them, pro-mass deportation, ignoring the fact that human dignity is being stripped away from individuals by our government. You don't give a shit. So yeah, I'm sorry if a fake 18-year-old wants to come up and tell me how an abortion should be when she barely knew what words were. She didn't even know the difference between sentient and sentience, or that they were two separate words. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't have patience for an 18-year-old, potentially 18-year-old, who has been indoctrinized by her family and hasn't taken the time to research past how do I combat this argument. And yes, I saw it. Thank you, Moni, for the 10. Said, go off, W. Pro birthers need a hobby. Yeah, stay out of my fucking uterus. In fact, here, especially for y'all that, hey, John, if you're still in here, this will be a throwback. Especially for y'all that utilize your fucking religion, to back up your bullshit. I'm going to say this to y'all right now. It'll focus in a second. Maybe. There we go. Keep your fucking theology off my goddamn biology. Now for the other camera. Yeah, you can fuck all the way off. Your religion is pro-abortion. I don't give a fuck. I don't know if you saw my pin. Yeah. Gotta love the black non-believers. Hell yeah. So I'm just letting you guys know. You guys don't fucking care. Oh, Hector would raid me as I want to end. I'll redirect y'all. So stick around, I'll redirect you. You coined a term that you don't give a fuck about. You care about it in one instance only. You lose on what it actually would mean. But we have a couple of things to read through real quick. Meliorsic, thank you. Abel, thank you. Baby, thank you for all the jewels. Wyatt, thank you for the jewels. Ajax, thank you. Janelle, SKB, thank you. Christina, Feisty, thank you for all the jewels. Janelle, Dead Internet, thank you for the bits. Feisty, thank you for the jewels. Castle, thank you. I think this was sarcasm, so we'll give it. All worship good King Trump. Thank you for the Hector raid. Feisty said blasphemy. I agree. Thank you guys for all the jewels. Taco, thank you for the 2. Scott, you say a bunch of interesting things, but thank you so much. Ryu, you're correct in pointing out that that guy was just xenophobic. This guy is desperately pulling off days on his word of a day calendar. That's funny, Agent. I like that one. Mitsu, thank you. Collectors, I've got... Scott, I can't do it. For Sweet Baby Kitty, thank you so much, N. I appreciate that. Keep fighting for a better U.S. Also for the vet. Thank you, guys. It really does mean a lot for me. All you USAers call your government a government. Yeah, that's true. Thank you. Bring back the 3 strikes baseball rule. If your argument falls after 3 tries and you haven't updated your position, you're just ignoring data and arguing from random feelings. True. Thank you. Yeah, I don't care about that. Nice job. Thank you, David. I appreciate that as well. Yeah, guys, if you want to insult me, just so you know, it does have to be for at least $10 for me to read it. Like, my mods got you, and I'm in favor of that. So yeah. I think I know that word. I'll have to double check that one. Okay, guys. YouTube, y'all go wherever you want. Y'all have a good one. But if you're a pro-lifer in my chat and you're still here listening to me, fuck off. So, you can hate follow, which is still weird, but Fuck off, my guy. You're fake.